Well, should be live. Thanks. I saw a couple people waiting. I was like, oh, all right. I'm not really prepared for this at all, so I just wanted to do some, and I haven't live streamed in a couple days. So best thing to do is just go for it and see what happens. I'm sure I will start out not too talkative. Let me turn that off. There. This one, besides being a cool model, it was nice and clean on a white background. So I think I can get it done pretty fast. Like I picked a color to drop in the background that just happened to be on the base. So I just drop a color. It probably isn't the best one for cleaning around edges. Usually if I'm going to clean edges, I pick a color that really just like that white shows up against. I'm going to try to do at least 2 of these, probably, hopefully 3. I'd like to do a few. Like if I get out of I don't like being out of practice. If there goes by a span of time where I haven't like done a couple, especially like if I do them on live stream, it's where I have some imaginary pressure to make them look really good or something. I get out of practice. This thing was awesome, and I don't know what I have to learn the box sets and everything these come in. I've liked this model, and this one's excellent done. I love the little like shoulder shield plate. Hey, King Crimson and Wolf Lord, thanks for making it. I'm trying to start out with this one. It had a nice clean white background, so I was like, all right, I'll take that and hopefully start something quick. I don't know if I like this background color. Part of me wants to do a teal, and part of me, oops, did that wrong. That's not bad though. Wolf Lord. Oh, thank you. Tis a Blade Guard veteran model for reference. Thank you. See, I got to write those down because it helps on the, when I label the video. Like, I want to label them correctly. That way, if someone's looking, they can find them, blah, blah. Thanks for joining. I learned so much just from that. I would be sitting here not knowing, and with you all here, it helps me answer it quick. Duplicate. I'm going to do the old, I don't know what color I really want, so I'm going to switch through a few. Oh, I kind of like the blue. Green, not reddish. See, he's got grass on the base and stuff, so I was thinking about it, but... Oh, hey, Silver Temper, thanks for making it. Yeah, great mini. I'm trying to figure out what background color I want to use here. Let's see something. Still don't know on this yet. Oh, maybe that. I was realizing too with this, I didn't utilize it that much before, but if I use, like, the background, I'm using this blue, and then I'm putting kind of like a gold over it because I kind of want the effect maybe of the light in front of them is like a golden light. So I'll do reflections and it'll amp up the light on him, and yet it keeps the background cool because, like, the old warm colors come forward and cool colors recede. And so I'm trying to play that up. Don't sell yourself short, Wolf Lord Lewis. Oh, and you're working on your assault intercessors? Good. You can be lazy in chat. I'll probably be lazy speaking, so it's all good. Oh gosh, I already like this model. So cool. And so all I mostly do, like, everyone's some degree of artist who paints these, so they all kind of already have working in the right direction and everything. So all I try to do is kind of go with that, play up what they already been doing. It's almost just like another layer of paint on it, and you're just making things pop more in the digital. Select. I select the area so that when I use this tool to make it bright, it only does it on the, the exact piece. I don't like what I did on the shield. King Crimson, oh, I'm just sitting playing PS4. I really should be painting, but I just haven't had the motivation. Yeah, I could see that. You got 10 new models coming? What kind of models? 40K, I assume? Oh, that looks so cool, though. Now I want some sort of, I guess it'll have to be blue. Let's see. Something there. I like something about that. Wolf Lord Lewis, you want to get that box just for the with the flag. Anything with a flag in 40K gets me. And I almost think it's like, I remember that there's, I don't know when it came out, but it's an old movie, or Ran, I think. It's like Ran, RAN. And they always had the, the back banners back then with the shoguns. They would run the other way, and I just always remember seeing them all running with those banners and just loving it. I was in Discord. Sometimes I'll be in Discord and I'll draw, and I have my iPad next to my stomach, right? So I'm like, half curled up in the chair with it leaning there. But if I'm in Discord, I use the mic that's on my iPad, and if it's resting against my stomach and my stomach gurgles, you can totally hear it. Like I see the audio spike. I'm like, oh, I got to remember that for streaming that way. Like, no one turns in for a gurgling stomach when you haven't eaten. And if you're watching and you don't mind, please hit that like button. It really helps, boost it for a little while. Silver Templars. The blade guard wiping the blade was great fun to paint. Oh, yeah. I remember seeing this whole set. They're really ornate. Like, I always love that about 40K. So, like, shields and back banners get me every time. And, this guy has, like, the huge shield. He's got the purity seals, all that encrusted, heraldry and stuff. I just love about that. One of the things I do here, this layer, so this layer, it's acting as a tint. And sometimes I take that color and I just go a little lighter. And then all that's going to do, so I use it on this layer and I just use it to lighten. It takes away a little bit of the color so it's not total tint. And technically I should select that there. So if anyone who's into the digital art part of it, because I put the basically that tinting layer is it's pulling it all together. It's almost like a wash. So you're trying to blend, the background and the foreground and make it like it's all lit together. And I put it on, and then it distorts obviously the colors underneath it. So then I try to change it back a little bit to bring some of those more forward, so it's kind of more true to model or whatever. Take off layer 7 again. Oh, like that. Yeah. And I often sit here and flick. I try to stop myself from flicking layers all the time. I would do it a real lot as I'm looking, because sometimes I don't like, if something bothered me or I like it, I'm just trying to figure it out, and I would flick layers. But if you watch it high speed on the time lapse, like someone's gonna have a seizure from watching that. And if a picture like this one has real good like the exposure, so it's a bright, so then you can get away with adding the tinted layer and it doesn't muddy it so much. So some of them I take the actual unit and I'll lighten it or darken it or whatever. Sometimes just like maybe I need to darken it if I'm going to have a real light background or something. Oh, the sword's got like the blue jewel or whatever on it. I can have that glowing. I should crop this a little different. I should raise the frame. I want to get a custom printed shield, but I want to get them for some of my enforcers and put the AE logo on the front of my enforcer shield. So I might end up doing that. One thing I learned about doing this is sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. A lot of times I don't. Like I just jumped on with this one. I was like, okay. And I didn't have like that good of an idea, but what's been working is if I know, like I know this top piece is going to be glowing, so it's like go add the glow. It's like okay, do what you know has to be done first, and then hopefully it comes to you later. It just looked real old school 40K right there. Whoops. Oh, Den of Imagination is some high quality looking custom stuff, just expensive as hell. $700 for a custom design and printed chapter master. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean that is expensive, but once you start trying to design something and build a 3D model and all that, if you really wanted to go that far. I have to turn the saturation down. I painted these to a slightly higher standard than the rest of the army. Now I don't want to drop it again for the rest. Yeah, that's so hard, and I haven't painted in forever. And I see these, and I'm like, kudos to anyone who let alone just getting anything painted for the tabletop. Not even like this is an amazing quality to me. So I would never even dream of you trying to paint a whole army like this, but especially after you did paint one like this, and then you're gonna be looking at the rest of your army, like, oh, I could do a little better over there, and yeah, I could see that being. too much there. Paint schemes, like I could see me when I get painting a miniature, I'm going to want to dip like all kinds of paint and stuff. Oh, I want a little red because I want to warm this up. And I'm like, oh, I'll just put a little blue in the corners because I want to cool it down. And it's almost like because I work digitally, you kind of grab colors and add stuff and do little things. But like then if you went to try to replicate it, I would never be able to find what I did. So it's will be like no two units will be the same. You just want to kind of like play up some of the colors you already have here. So that's kind of really all I'm trying to do. I try to stick in the color palette of the miniatures that kind of makes it all cohesive already. Like you had blue, so I was like, okay, stick with kind of like a teal background. So it, I don't know if this is necessarily blue, but I'm not going to do that. I slowly keep adding brushes. I should take a while and look at a bunch. Because I like, you know, you gotta keep expanding on, I don't know, just kind of what techniques and how you try to render different things. Too much. I don't know if I like that. The soothing sound of me tapping away. Oh, Wolf Lord Lewis, that's cool. You got like the chapter master and stuff have more like paint worn off. That's cool. Now I want a little smoke in front of them. So even in traditional, like I mix a lot of like kind of comics with this type of stuff, and I'm trying to, you know, 40K is kind of is dynamic anyway. You know, everything's like overpowered and huge, and so you usually kind of have your background element, your middle ground, and then something in the foreground. And a lot of times, I'm not looking to like really draw and render something in the front and kind of compete with the model. So I often, you know, I want to put like smoke or you put some billowing type stuff across the front so it adds that depth. Or you attempt to. I've done so much of it and I'm still like, And plus the other thing is I almost hate doing it because you know, you put a little just a little atmosphere and it kind of covers up their paint job, you know. So I'm like, okay, I want to blend it, but I don't want to. gotta order one of those paper screens. I forgot. I wonder if that'll deaden some of the tapping because it's like the little plastic thin layer. I'm sure you'll still hear it, but with some tooth or something, I think it'll even sound different. Who's like all super popular now? Like who's a big what is it still PewDiePie and what who else is like the big live streamers? You know what I mean? Is like PewDiePie like 1990s or what now? What, Ninja, I see him around, but I don't know if they're still like the it thing. No, don't like that. Oh wait, I see the latest news. The the Yogs cast still gets a decent amount of views. Everyone was moved to Twitch, and Ninja got into some trouble. Okay, yeah, yeah, Twitch. A lot of people I see are like doing the whole Twitch thing. I'll probably end up. I have the Twitch, and I don't mind it at all. I was just like, well, I got the other videos on, you know, YouTube and stuff. So I'm like, I'll just stick to one. Even though I think I should be probably like broadcasting the both at once. Oh wait, okay, a couple more things in here. Oh, if you do that, you're gonna need someone to handle the chat for you. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I mean, I figure I'm so small, right? You know, that's why I don't really have like some big grand plan with this. I know I got to keep doing it. I'm like, okay, I think like the plan will become more clear after I do it for a year. But you know, right now it's like hanging out with you all. You know, like chat and do a paint over, and I'm good with that. Yeah, two chats and trying to do the thing would probably be hard. And I like it's slow. You know, I still got to do more to kind of figure out what people are into viewing because I like reading the chats, but even doing that kind of slows it down and whatever. But it's worth it. I appreciate that, King Crimson. He said, "Wolf, and you are here if I need anything." Thank you. Hey, Martin, what is up? Have you ever drank from your paint water? No, because I haven't painted anything in forever, but I probably will as soon as I do. No, because I don't really drink. No, I wouldn't do that because I usually have like either. Yeah, I don't think I would end up doing that. I wouldn't keep it in a cup close enough to the same. There, that's about right. Oh, one more couple things. I want to do. James Kidd. I really love these Blade Guard veteran models. I should get some. Yeah, I know they are. I've seen different versions where they're like released in packs, and I think they just did one with like, I don't think it's the same models, but there's a whole bunch of ornate ones, like I don't know, 8 of them or something, and those are crazy. Here, we will watch a quick little replay of this one. Watch replay. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Letting the pupper out. About putting together. Putting these together. That's the one thing I'm like, oh gosh, I would have to paint some of it in pieces. Like it seems like it would be a pain getting underneath someone's armpit and stuff. So some of them just seem so ornate. I don't know. Like, is it? I would assume you like what kind of paint with the arms off or something. All right, I'm gonna do another one. I wanted to do. Here's one I just did last night. I had so much stuff to do, but I really like this model. So I did that one and put it on time lapse. That thing was cool. Yeah, I could see that King Crimson, all the tiny details. That would be the same thing I was looking at when I looked at the enforcers. I wanted to do this one. I don't remember anybody's name. They've often followed me, liked the work, and retweeted. And I've seen this one a couple times, and I liked it, and I never timed it out right. So I wanted to do it today. Oops. No, I already got it saved. Let's do this the easy way. Martin, what are you up to tonight? I'm checking this out. You working on anything? A beer? It's a Saturday. Oh, the Gilliman. I didn't even know, James Kidd. I saw someone building that finally, and it was like the shin guards are different. It's almost like there's a bone inside the legs and everything. I was like, wow, these things have really progressed. And I think yesterday I saw a tweet from Lyle Lowry. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. And it was I think it was a Guardian, and he was showing how he fills the seam, and it like their seam is like right through the shoulder and everything. So I'm like, wow, they really are doing some like advanced 3D modeling and slicing and all that stuff. I could see that King Crimson basically do the bodies and arms separate. That's kind of what I would think when feasible. But some of them, it just seems like they're all intertwined. You know, they got so much going on. Does any what is this? This isn't 40K. This creature can't be 40K. Does that? I don't think anyone even knows. But if you do, I would appreciate it. Eight people watching. Thanks for joining. I'm actually looking at my Twitter right now. I am indeed drinking a beer. Oh, a name that I ain't even gonna attempt. Storbecker Atlantic Ale 5.1%. And looking at my endless spell. And basically having one of those weeks. Yeah, it's still not. I don't know what the weather is. It's springtime here. It's almost making it worse for me because it'll be sunny and nice out, and then I'm sitting inside like half freaking out because I'm like, oh, I should be out doing something, and it doesn't even make sense. I'll go out. You know, I went for like walk, take the dog for some long walks to park, whatever. But it's just kind of feels like, oh, you gotta. I don't even know what I do. Like it just feels like I should be doing something. Like I don't know, go climb a tree. Who knows? Just do something outside. The one park by me has kind of like this overhang structure, and I think you can even get Wi-Fi there, and it would be nice if I could, you know, kind of settle in and draw at the park and actually be productive. I'd have to try that. The Sigmar Endless spells. Oh, I gotta look at the one thing. It just made me think of the man. Some of my favorite minis coming out are the spells. You know, they'll do the 3D models of the spells or whatever. Those things are incredible. Now this has green eyes. What did he have in the picture behind? Kind of a blue. Let's see something. Hmm. Oh, a Dreadmaw from Forge World. They don't sell it anymore. Gosh, see, you guys, thank you very much. I didn't know that was Forge World. Interesting. I don't know if this is wrong. I'm going to try to, like, I'm using a color that's in the base, and I think I might kind of like it. We'll see. Because then maybe I just drop a little bit of golden light on it, so I'll kind of keep the colors muted, and then I'll use just like a nice, kind of golden color to make his mouth pop and the horns and stuff. In theory. Where was I? Oh, that'll look cool. I'll put some, yeah, gold kind of up in that top left corner, so it'll be like the bright spot, and then I'll kind of. Sometimes you just gotta go crazy and maybe it sparks something. I don't know what exactly I'm doing here, but every once in a while I was like, okay, throw something really bright in and see if interesting. Never never let not knowing what you're doing stop you. I just need a hobby I can pick up and finish in 5 to 10 minutes and feel accomplished at. Yeah, I know. And is it everyone's attention span is probably getting shorter? I used to think it was just me, because even like I started drawing by pencil, right? So I would sit there for days, like working on a picture day after day, like with a pencil and just whatever. And that was when I was young, and it seems like now where you think you'd be older and like more able to sit down and calm, it's completely the opposite. See, the only problem with the blue swirl, I'll try it with the blue. The blue just doesn't lend itself the best to the rest of this, but we're going to try. I might be able to pull it off. I'm 19 and already like that. I can barely sit still. Well, yeah, and in some ways, I always thought it was like a younger thing. You know, I mean, like that almost makes sense to me. You know, I mean, no wonder you have no idea about my old man jokes. Yeah, although ADHD probably doesn't help for sitting still. Yeah, probably not. Martin. My wife's the same age as me, and she doesn't understand a bloody thing I talk about half the time. Yeah. I don't know about the blue. I'm just staring at this for a while, trying to think I might try to do the swirl. Okay, let me try something again. 7 people watching. I'll do good with this stuff. Like, you know, I'll get all my work done and I don't have a problem doing that. I do find I'll do a lot of like work for 2 hours on a drawing and then I'll switch to something, you know, say I got to like save some files or do that or send out emails, and I'll kind of bounce between a couple things, and that kind of helps me some. Okay, we can kind of pull this off with blue, I think, now. That's why I try stuff. I try to be like somewhat fearless with it. It's like, okay, I wouldn't normally put blue, but someone brought up blue. I'm like, okay, just try it. Don't. Don't say no. Don't wimp out. I can't see who bought me a coffee, but someone bought me a coffee. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It all goes to a good cause. It's all going to go to somebody. I'll be Mal will probably get some for making videos and everything else. So it'll go around the community. Oh, I kind of dig it. I have to do a. It's the only problem with trying some of the new stuff is you get kind of. I'll probably do another mini after this. I'll go look in the tweets after and see if I can grab another one or something. But you know, the trying thing, if you try new stuff like kind of on the live stream, it like takes up more time and almost like more mental effort for me. Okay, now I want to always make sure I duplicate stuff because it's my quick and dirty way of I know I'm gonna like miss erase something or wipe something out, so I want plenty of versions underneath. Oh, Silver Templar, thank you very much. And Wolf Lord Lewis, you did another coffee. That's almost too much, but I appreciate it. I don't drink much. I don't know what do they call it? Like I think most of you are states, but what do they call it in the UK? Some say pop here, and some say soda for like whatever Pepsi, Mountain Dew, blah blah blah. So I don't know if in the UK what you call it or wherever you're at. Mal's in Germany. I don't know what they call it there, but I don't drink a lot. Like I'll still get like it's some sugar free Red Bulls or something like that. But today I bought like a cheap pizza and I saw a Mountain Dew and I'm like, oh, I'll get a Mountain Dew. Oh my gosh, I had a swig of that. It's like so much sugar. And I just have it all the time. And it's just like it's like syrup in your mouth. Little luminescence goes a long way. So let me do this. I would be so torn. You know, I think I don't know who I was talking to or whatever about the really bright. Some paint schemes are really bright, and some are, just like really the dingy and like dark, and some are barely like muted. And I always think of very muted and dark. It's a mix. I can't even tell what I would do. I've been thinking about it for like days, just like, okay, what would I do? I really love the whole you know, just a grimy, very rusted out kind of feel of everything with muted colors. But then I also just, you know, the ability to have like some really popping, you know, yellows or something on some models would be awesome too. I guess that's why everyone gets sucked into doing a bunch of armies. It's like, oh yeah, I want to do this and that and do everything else. I should put some blur and smoke coming out of underneath. What I will do is I will take this tinted layer and try to shift it a little blue. I do chips. I thought about the chips thing. So okay, chips, like, you know, a wood chip. So it's like a divot or a, like whatever chipped off. So I can see why they call crisps, because if you think chip, like you think like I think of American potato chip. What we call chips are really thin, so it'd be like almost a slice, not a chip. So I could almost see the UK calling them chips because like those potato ones are more like wedges or like a wood chip where you would cut out. Psychologist to the Astartes. Thanks for joining us. Ah, yeah, I've seen that one. You're right. It says use plasma weapons whenever you can. Then you can have grimy minis with bright flashes of color. Yeah, I've seen people, and it's the same thing in here. Like I'll use sometimes desaturated and saturated colors for that contrast. So probably a brilliant idea. Wait, biscuit? What they call biscuits or whatever? The cookie or crit? I forget. I don't know. I'm sure I'll remember. Um, wait, that's all a new layer. Okay. Oh, see, Frenching. I was not aware. Frenching is the cut of the potato. See, we're learning about cooking too. I have a whole cooking stream with this. I did not know that. You wound me, sir. A scone versus scone. Yeah, I got the Americans call cookies and biscuits. That one, I'm gonna have to go with the U.S. one on that. I think biscuits like a. I mean, of course, it's because I'm in the U.S., but you know, it's just like a light, flaky biscuit. But I did watch some. I don't know. I was either watching some cooking show or something, and they were talking about because it does. I think they call it biscuit. And I'd have to look. The cookie almost kind of had some sort of layering or something in it. I don't know. Okay, a little more on this one. I want to get some like dust and stuff coming out of his mouth, like, you know, he's underground, so when he comes out, there would still be a. That's the loud tapping, and I have to hit it that hard. Like, that's what they need, a silent iPad. One more. Hey, Mr. Spats, thanks for making it, Mr. Spats. So, okay, I'm still gonna do one of yours on live stream, but I saw the picture of the one you put in before, right? And I think you said you weren't finished with it, and I was gonna do that one, but if you go on my Twitter, drop me one of that if you want a finished version of it. You know, I didn't know if you finished painting it or you want to call that one good, but I did remember that. Oh yeah, biscuits and gravy would sound. Psychologist of the Astartes, yeah, biscuits. It's like cookies with gravy on it. Mmm. A couple more things here. I gotta put some blur on this one. I'm gonna go grab another one. Wolfie, I saw your Titan. I think it was a Titan. We're gonna eventually we'll end up doing that one. I don't think I will do that one today, but you had a good picture of one that had cool lighting under the shoulder pads that I liked. A little bit of blur goes a long way. I learned that one with this, and it's so subtle you probably can't even see it on the screen, right? So I'm selecting around kind of the tooth and the jaw, right? So all I'm trying to do is motion blur it a little bit, and I use a perspective blur tool. So that point is where the perspective blur comes from. The further from that point, the more it blurs. If I move it real quick, see how you can see his like lower mandible really blurs out. I'm only going to go a little bit, but it's almost like you're almost doing it in reverse. The slowest moving part is the tip I'm keeping real nice and pointed. And I'm just blurring the lower jaw just to add a little bit of motion. You hardly even see it, but it adds up when you do a couple spots. I'll do it a little bit on these rocky points, and that'll make it. I want some greener eyes. I gotta go look on Twitter too in a little bit. I'll try to do another one. who's watching? Is who's watching that entered one? Mr. Spats. Wait, I just heard pork scratchings. Not heard, but read. Pork grinds. Oh, pork scratchings. Don't make any more sense. Pork. Are they pork rinds? I think they're rinds, right? RINDS. I never had. I like them, but I'll get. They have the cheap like bagged versions. I don't. Oh, I've had some good ones, like more down south. I would have to. I haven't had like good fresh ones in a while. Uh-oh. Now the dog made his entrance. So then it might be I might be back with him in a minute. I'm gonna try to finish this eyeball. Oops. And but pork scratchings. I have heard of pork scratchings, I think. And I don't know what is this like another term for it, so I don't know. Alright, I think one more thing on this one. In a second, puppy. In a second. Okay, I know. All right, and then I'm going to hit replay. Here, I'll give you a replay of one you haven't seen. Let's do a replay of. And my iPad's full. I took a whole bunch off. so annoying. All right, I am going to hit time lapse. You guys be good. Maybe like not even 2 minutes. And I will be right back. There, Anne managed to stuff my face with some pizza. Now we gotta look. I'm gonna look on Twitter and see if there's one more. Trying to do 3. I got 7 viewers. I feel like everyone's watching me. I feel like I have to go. Wait, I gotta read some of these. Burger supremacy. Oh, don't get me talking about food. Well, Florida, I would. I'm trying to get a couple new people I haven't done yet. Or else I was really gonna do that night. Sandwiches are the best thing ever. Oh man, I kind of have to agree with that in that I can just make one so quick and eat it, and it's good. I've eaten way more than my fair share of sandwiches. There's not much curry here. I mean, states, whatever. Anything with curry is like an Americanized version of something with curry. So there's a little bit of it. It's almost like I view it as like our version where we have Chinese food. It's like probably so far removed from Chinese food. Munchies 420 Cafe Crimson. Enchiladas. All right, wait. Got distracted by food. I gotta go look. Twitter. See, Travis Giffen has one in there, but it's almost like a white model on a white background, and it'd be a pain for me to isolate. Whoops. I'm looking at I have my laptop with the Twitter open, and I should use my mouse and stuff because I'm using a little touchpad on there instead of doing it the right way. So it kind of like resets and whatever. Come on. I'll see you. There's Wolf Lord's Titan. Dave Barden. I haven't done one of his. It's just it has the whole. It's white on white. That's the only thing. I say I ask for white background, but then I feel bad because someone with a white model puts it on a white background. It's like, oh, this thing. How do I get a hold of this? Okay. What I'm going to do here, I think I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go grab that real quick on my... When I learn how to use all this stuff, like I got to switch, that's my PC screen, and then switch back and... Hang on, I'm going to compose a tweet. Live streaming. Going to this one. Now, and I don't know about this. Like, it's so cool in my mind, but I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if the background's going to be light or dark or whatever. But it's such an awesome thing. I got to try. Let me get the link to the YouTube. I'm gonna go over here. Join us and chat. There, I think I did that right. All right, now there. Switch screens. Bam. We're gonna do this. Yeah, it's like I'm popular. Oh, I got someone. I just saw the word gameplay, and so I I downloaded some mobile game for Necromunda, and I was like, oh, I should go on Twitch and play for the first time, like play on Twitch with it. I was like, oh, this kind of fits, and like put it over there and play that just to see what's up. All right, what am I going to do with this thing? Where did my Apple Pencil? I have 2 Apple Pencils, and where did I put the one that was charged and in my hand? Huh. So that's why you keep 2 Apple Pencils, because in between me and going to there, found it. Now what is going on here? So we can do the glowing lasers firing. The orb is tough because it has black behind it. All right, well, first things first, let's try something. Yeah, not bad. That has a decent glow to it. Okay, I can kind of work with that, I think. Yeah, Wolf Lord Lewis. Yes, the age-old question of, and I swear I'm such a minimalist because of that. I don't even like having a lot of stuff because I don't want to clean it up, and I don't want to be missing anything. So I'm very like sparse on the things I like. It's like I don't even, most things I don't even enjoy. So it always like frustrates me when I can't find something. I'm like, you don't even have a ton of stuff. Why aren't you finding that? Still have Necron down at the bottom. Gosh, GW has put out some crazy models. Let's see, blue and gold and teal are colors of the Nihilic. We'll say Nihilic. Good enough for me. Dynasty, just for reference. AE. Thank you. Yeah, I want to do that gate, and it's small. So this is where it's tough because if this was real, like a higher resolution, you look in here and I would have to, scale it up and do some stuff to then get really, get in there with some of it. So it gets a bit tricky. And what I got to do is let me duplicate it before I start messing on the layer I shouldn't. And then I'm going to pull some of this around. All right, and gold. So these are kind of, let me take that layer off. Those are gold, so this will look good. We're going to go, wait, nope. Turn all that off. I'm going to grab this gold color. I tend to grab colors, off the model, so what's going on there? We'll do another overlay layer. People who use a lot of layers look at me and say, damn, you use a lot of layers. Oh, there, we got some of the gold in. Good, good, good. All of my photos are baddish quality, as is a phone camera. I think I remember seeing it, but they're a little fuzzy, you can tell, because it's a phone camera, but I wouldn't say they're bad. You got your focus in and stuff, and they can work, but it does hurt on some of the crispness you can get on a good, clean line. Ooh, this part right here. You all do seriously make paintovers better because it's like I'll get those little tidbits of info and I can kind of, include stuff and whatever. Especially you said gold. It's like, all right, I got to boost up the gold a little bit. 20 quid for the cheapest. Yeah, I think I bought a cool one. So it has a good clamp. I should find the link in it. So it has a good clamp to clamp on the table, like a sturdy one. And it has two screw in parts. One is for a light and one is for the phone itself. And that was 20 US dollars. And I love the thing. The light is like, it has like 3 or 4 different dimming settings and it has a warm and a cool. So I bought 2 of those and I got them both hooked up. So I got like lights and camera stands all over the place. 'Camera's the one thing, and I'm horrible with it, right? So I'm always like snapping pictures and they come out like the worst. So a lot of times I learned with, I had, my old phone camera, and it wasn't like, just me moving my hand a little bit was always blurred. You know what I mean? So I think even if you got something just to hold a cell phone steady, if you snap it with a cell phone pick, is probably a good thing. I think now I have like a iPhone 8 or whatever, and that's pretty good about taking photos and not getting all jiggy when I move around. See, I don't know anything about the Necron dynasties. I'm gonna have to. There was a little bit in the Belisarius Call book, but not, not too much. Silver Templar. That's seriously that picture you took. This one right here. Let me see this thing. That was from your phone. Wait, I'm gonna pull this up. That's from your phone. If so, that's incredible. Whoops. If you're asking me, Mr. Spats, I have no idea because I never even listened to it, and it's probably the wrong way. I would say Catan, just off the top of my head. But I pronounce everything like it is seen, not correctly. Oh, that's wild, King Crimson. I didn't know the Silent King spoken with Dante. That's interesting. Yeah, iPhone and a cheap light box. Good for you. Good to know. And that's what I had an iPhone 8, so I'm just, it's not advanced, the new one. Although I might get, when the new iPad Pro comes out this month, I might be tempted into it for their new camera and stuff. And more, more for the fact that I wouldn't have to clean off my old iPad. I want some like smoke rolling out of here, I think. Like, it just seems like there should be some. I don't know if I should have like blue smoke kind of pouring out the portal. I don't know if that's too much blue, or maybe some like dust kicking up from this thing hovering or something. Yeah, Wolf. I think iPhone. Yeah, I only recently switched, and I just got an iPhone 8 because someone had it and didn't need it, and mine was like old and whatever. And even the iPhone 8, I really like the camera on that thing. I think they're like on 11 or 12 right now. I keep, I, these were all square. I wanted some. I was like, oh, I did one yesterday, literally because it was more vertical because the YouTube shorts are meant to be played kind of on your phone, and every once in a while, like every couple days, generally, knock on wood, like my little short will get a boost. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I try to get like shorts and make sure I post it every day because once in a while I'll get a boost where it's like seen by like 500-600 people or something. Oh, Mr. Spats, I always thought that too because of Cthulhu. Yeah. Silver Templar says, all I do, okay, yeah, iPhone, all I do after is boost the brightness until the background is as white as real life. Okay, yeah. And I did notice that. So, I noticed just from taking a couple photos of normal stuff, it seems like you just adjust like a little bit of percentage, to bring it almost like truer to life type deal. Do something here. I wonder. I have to. Oh, see, I can put now. What kind of brain block do you have? So I'm always in this menu, right? I can put together one of these sub menus. Like instead of saying airbrushing, it would just say like favorite brushes, and I can put them all in there. And I've been doing this for a year, and I always just switch in between instead of just making one thing with all my common tools. So I'm doing that this week because that's ridiculous. That's too much. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see. I kind of want it like it's pouring out. You know what I mean? The same kind of effect that they have in those strands. I kind of want it like it's pouring out of the portal. That's kind of cool. Yeah, probably too much brightness on that. Take it away. I guess everything in the 40K universe always has like dust and the sparks coming off and everything else. Hit replay and see where we're at. Appreciate you guys coming over and checking it out and hitting like. I got 3 done. I think that's a good amount. I did them pretty quick. I was looking on Twitter. I painted one over and posted. He said, "As amazing as ever. Kind of wish the palm trees stayed a bit longer, though." And he's kind of right. I might put the palm trees back in. You can. I'll show you what I mean. It was just a quickie, so I didn't have time. But if you go, when I put the palm trees in right there, I should take them out and make them a little darker just so they pop. Like in here, they could be indicated a little more. Like I'd put that light stuff and then put the shadow there. Yeah, right there. And almost put them in front of all that lighting stuff so you get a nice shadow of them. But I didn't have enough time to kind of isolate palm trees. I love this mini. And my colors turned out right. Wolf Lord, yes, put the palm trees in. Yeah, it would make it better because I did that one only because I was like, oh, I haven't really done ocean scene, and I like the you know what it was too. I I played a couple games of World of Warships, right? And they have their intro stills. It is some of the most beautiful masterworks of lighting I have seen in like those graphics, and it is like so rich, like their sea foam colors and just how the light plays off, and it's like all on the just the still images from those, and like I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta like try to figure. I even like took my phone and photographed some from my TV because it's like I want to see. They did this cool like gunfire barrels off the ship, and they did this great smoke and lighting thing, and I was like, oh, I gotta learn how to do that. But yeah, they did that, and I was seeing those colors, and I really wanted to do something kind of with those sea colors. And when I saw that model, I was like, all right, let me work on something. There's not too much gold on this, so I kind of want to. That's why I'm putting like the gold sparks and like the energy, just like it's what I don't even know, but I want some more of it in the picture. So there, had to erase there. Wolf Lord Lewis, right? I'm about says I need to make food and get sleep. You do that, Wolf. Thank you very much for joining a D&D late night. Man, D&D has been making a comeback. Well, it's probably been coming back for a long time. I just didn't even notice. But you have a good one. I think I will stop here in a few anyway. Post these. I got some live streaming in. Appreciate y'all keeping me company and answering all my questions. I'll have to you know, answer some questions one of these days, but I don't know anything much about 40K, old school stuff maybe. But I'm gonna do I want to do one that's more geared for like people who may want to learn how to do more of this, like just the Procreate side of things. So I might try that. King Crimson and Mr. Spat, Silver Templar, thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. A couple hours of streaming did me good. And I think everyone here probably already hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. So appreciate it. You all have a good night, and I am going to end this now.